Hey, all you little people, it's the main man here. And the main man thought to himself today, the main man likes Stelgar. And Stelgar can get as big as a Warbeast. So what happens when Stelgar fights some mighty Warbeast? And that's what we're going to get into today. I thought in 5 minutes of this deck, and the second match we played with it, was a pretty good Warbeast deck. So as you can see, my Brimflame's going straight into it. Unfortunately, his Gaffet Ra, we're just gonna call him Ra, has a Defender Conjurer. So even though his Conjurers looked ripe for the taking, there's nothing I could do there. So this deck is not great. Again, thought about it in 5 minutes. Do really draw. I have three really good attacks in my hand. Might Swing's going to deal 25. Force Strike will do quite a bit. Plasma Arrow, best card in the deck. Really good cards to get straight from the rip. So maybe I should have went on to his Blasphatan instead. And there's a Melody of Mirage. That's great for him to use straight out the gate because I still have two great attack cards. So a little bit of a win. In Gear Gesendo, he's going to flip. Who's he? What battle gear is he flipping up? He's going to flip up his Revita Flower. Revita Flower is a battle gear that if a conjurer or not a conjurer, you can sacrifice it to give a conjurer two music counters, which is really good for conjurers like Savell and Apile, the other conjurer, who reduce recklessness damage per music counter on him. But no, we have Naveen in the back to give the three music counter support and or her ability to give someone element 10. We have the two Corels to help with Stelgar. Stelgar, this version, whenever he deals damage, he gains 10 to a discipline. But if he has more than 125 power, he codes himself. Now, Krell cancels that because each Krell gives exhaust 5. So as long as the two Krells survive, Stelgar will never gain any um, discipline. And then we have Brimflame in the middle just for a really solid fighter. And we're going against Warbeast here, people. Giants of Giants against Momark's failed creation. So there's a Shriek Shock. He's not really putting up much of a fight with his Raw. I think it was more just, look, he can get coded. He either has to heal, and no, he just chooses to get coded. So there's one Warbeast down, two more to go. And I got to think about how to position the board. I can't really give up a Krill. So there's the Darkened Dunes, which means he could go after my Krills and get in my back row. But instead, Blasphetan's going to go into Brimflame. Probably the best choice, because if he didn't, then I could have taken out one of his Savells, because he doesn't have Defender anymore. But I do have Plasma Arrow in hand, best attack, and he has one of his best attacks, Cyclone Slam, did 45 damage. So I'm sure some people are going to be watching this thinking, oh my god, that's a horrible card to have in this deck. People, I made this deck in 5 minutes. I just really want to play Stelgar. Stelgar's one of my favorite underworld creatures, and I didn't think he had a card for the longest time. And look, my Brimflame's already coded. That's the power of the Warbeast right there. Doing 45 damage, and then the very next attack, I'm coded. Not looking very good for the main man himself, and he moves his Glowst up. Now, here is the good thing. I don't know if he realized, or no, it wouldn't have mattered. So I have a Skeletal Steed on that Stelgar, so I can go all the way in the back to hit that Savell right there. Now that Savell also has a Revita Flower, so even if I code this Savell, it doesn't really change anything because his other Savell is also going to have two music counters. Or no, he puts on the Apolly, which is probably a better play, much better play. So Stelgar against Savell, and his Savell literally has 0 power because of all the Intimidate. There's an Inferno Gust that's going to deal 5. I don't know why it's only dealing 5. Am I missing something here? Why is Inferno Gust only doing 5? Shouldn't it do 20? I'm so confused why it's only doing 5. I know I'm taking. I don't know. I'm so confused. I know I should lose some because of the pits. I don't know. I don't know. That was weird to me. Let me know if that was a glitch or not. I don't understand why that only did 5. There's a squeeze play. That's going to help him get the really good cards in his his deck because you look at the top two cards of your attack deck, keep one on the top, put one on the bottom. So there's a fire stream. This gives us both a chance to run through our deck. What the heck was that? But yeah, this gives us both a chance to go through our decks and get the really good attack cards. So I should try to probably finish this match as quick as I can. Um, that way he cannot get his other Cyclone Slam in hand. Or he might already have it, because there's another squeeze play. So that's two cards he's been able to push to the bottom of the deck. My Stelgar does have a boost in discipline because of Navina's other passive ability. She just gives, was it 10? I think 10 to all warriors' disciplines, which is nice. There's 4 strike, that's 20. So now he's at 10. Really good because I can code him with Incinerate next attack, hopefully, unless he heals, which he won't. Seville has almost knocked out a couple of my creatures in the past. That speed helps. He can win some speed challenges. So there's Reverberate. Yeah, and have the other one. There's another Inferno Gust. Go ahead and use Incinerate. Try to code him. And there, boom. Another easy code. Two creatures done. Now, Ghost is going to start to get more powerful. That's his second Warbeast. And whenever Ghost gets Air 5 and Earth 5 per Conjurer in your discard. So right now he has both Earth 5 and Wind 5. So I'm going to move all of my guys up. That way, even if he knocks out one Stelgar, the other one can take out that other Seville, which is going to help. Well, not necessarily, because if Apolly did not have, what am I gonna say? His passive ability, it would help a lot. But he's reducing recklessness by 50 because he has 5 Muja counters. Now, if he starts using them, that's a problem. You know, there's Strain of Ash to get rid of the War Beast. Is it Power Leash, Power Collar? You gain 5 energy and then 5 more energy for each Conjurer, and you deal an additional 5 damage. Really, really, really good War Beast support. So I get rid of it. So that puts Glost at 50. That's his only downside, is he is a little weak. Cyclone Slam does 40 damage. Actually, and he's doing Nourishing Nocturne, so he's going to be able to give his Glost 40 because you sacrifice a minion and then you give that creature energy. So I'm thinking, oh, he's getting rid of one of his conjurers. He's only going to have a Poly left. Poly only has 40 health or 40 energy. I have 2 Cannon of Casualties still. This is a really risky play because if he has Song of Shelter, I don't think it works. Is Song of Shelter only engaged creatures? Let's look that up real quick. Because so my goal is if I can knock out a Poly, he's gonna take recklessness damage. And yeah. Let's see, Song of Shelter. Yeah, no, he could have. If he had Song of Shelter, that was it. I don't know. I guess he just doesn't have it. So there's all this Conjurer support. So both of his War Beast are going to start taking recklessness damage, which is really good for me. There went one of my Stelgars, but, I have 3 fighters left on the board. I have 3 Mujiks and Navina. If I choose not to use the Mujiks, I can use Navina's ability for all 3 fighters. So now Stelgar is going to go into Blasphatan. Probably my favorite War Beast. How can you top Blasphatan? The first War Beast I ever saw, of course, in the Chaotic Show. Amazing card. And then I get Whirlwind Scythes, probably one of my top 5 favorite attacks. It was just a really good card that I started playing when I got back into Chaotic and was doing good competitively like a few years ago when I started playing Rewind. So there's Ravenel Ridge. Lets me stack the deck a little bit. Also lets him stack the deck a little bit. But yeah. Can my Stelgar defeat a giant tornado monster? Well, let's see. There's Plasma Arrow, and he can't use Melody of Mirage or anything. He has no music abilities now. So did 35 damage to him, and he's going to take recklessness damage. And I have 2 improvisational melodies that'll do 10 damage each. So really, I only got to do 20 more damage, and I can knock out Blasphatan. And that's what I'm going to do. So there's 10, and there's 10. That way, he has to deal 65 damage to me, or he's coded because I have Whirlwind Scythes in hand. Blair's. Oh, and never mind. I forgot. He does 30 to himself because of recklessness. So now it is Stelgar and two Creels and an Avena against Glost. Now, Glost, though, has 15 wind and 15 earth. So even if he plays an attack that does 0 damage, he's still doing 30 damage, which is crazy. Glost is so good. I love Glost. Might be my second favorite Warbeast just because of how good he is. And what's cool is Glost is only going to have 40 what was I going to say, 40 power. And somehow Stelgar's smarter. Somehow Momart creation is smarter than a Warbeast. And there we go. He's already at 35 energy. I'm using Navina to give my Stelgar Fire 10. There's Ultimate War Stance. Real interesting card. Never seen it before. So my next attack, look, that did 55 damage, and my cat just knocked over something. For those wondering, I don't even know what that was, but no. So that did 55 damage. That's crazy. And my next attack is going to do 0 damage. Now, here's the kicker. He's going to code himself with recklessness. So I've pretty much won. And just, I'm worried that if he codes me first, maybe the recklessness cancel out. I just Song of Desperation. So this deck that I thought of in 5 minutes took down the mighty Mepedian Warbeast, and a really good Warbeast deck too. I think he probably misplayed in some areas, but a win's a win in this book, people. And that's how we do it here at the NCO, people. We hit hard with our giant starfish monsters and our giant, three-eyed ironsmiths, right? There, you can't stop the tide of the underworld, and that's how we do it. Because remember, here at the NCO, that's how the big boys play, and that's the bottom line.